What's good, people? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house, back in the saddle one more again with some content. Talking about a couple things. You see the little NFL moniker up in the upper right hand corner. Gonna hit a couple of NFL nuggets. That wild game with the Patriots and the Raiders, whatever. And then the game that we just saw tonight and how that maybe makes it a little easier what happened to us on Sunday. Maybe that team's a lot better than we thought. And then moving on to the Cowboys news, hey, we got Pro Bowlers, man. We got Pro Bowlers. We got seven of them things. Seven. We're gonna talk about that. Anybody they thought we thought they should have, got snubbed and that sort of thing. We're gonna talk about some injuries. We're gonna talk about one of our players was involved in a car accident today on the way to practice. We're going to talk about frustrations in the locker room and guys talking, just overall frustration over the game, and maybe some recommendations on how to fix what happened Sunday. We're talking about a shakeup at cornerback, and some different things changed up as a result of the game on Sunday. And then as we move towards the game on Saturday, big news: Hurts not playing. You buying that? I'm not sure, but there's some implications one way or the other. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and, who's under more pressure if he doesn't play and that sort of thing. And then finally, oh, you thought I was going to do this without giving y'all a prediction? Yeah, I'm going to give y'all a prediction too. I'm going to give y'all a prediction of what I think will happen on Sunday. Well, with all that being said, let's go. What's good, people? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house, back in the saddle, one more again with more content for you. Just go ahead and hit and punch that like button, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Guarantee you will not be disappointed. So I know you guys see the moniker up there on the right. We talking about the NFL right now. So I don't know. Before I hadn't seen what had happened on Sunday when I made my Cowboy post game rant and whatever you want to call it. Fam, I ain't seen nothing like that Raiders Patriots game, and I'll set the scene for a game tied. I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds left in the game. Patriots running the ball up the middle. Ramondre Stevenson from about his own, maybe like 45-yard line, runs about 18 yards, run to the sideline. Instead of going out of bounds or whatever the case might be, laterals it to Jacoby Myers, and they doing some stuff, and he inexplicably laterals it, I don't know, 20 yards back to where Mac Jones is standing. Only he ain't the only one standing back there. Chandler Jones, the all-pro defensive end for the Raiders, was standing back there with him and promptly picks the ball off, shoves Mac Jones to the turf, and scampers about 50 some odd yards for the touchdown. And that's how the game ended. Dude, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I've been watching the NFL 40 years. That right there might be the dumbest play, the most explicable play in the history of the 102 years of the NFL. The game was tied. There was no reason to just take a knee and take your chances at halftime. But you're going to try to, because that stuff never works. Now, I know I done seen that people lateral it 100,000 times, and then it'll go to a defensive player, but it's always a situation where they was already behind. And the only people that's mad is the bettors because somebody done lost their house on that. That's a bad beat, right? Say a team's favored by 6 and they say, okay, if we get a touchdown here, we'll be up by 1. But they fool around and lateral it into the defender's hands and he run in for a touchdown. Now you're down 12. And so somebody probably lost their house on that. But they be the only ones. But man, You never thought you'd see a Bill Belichick coach team do some foolishness like that at that point in the game. So, I mean, look, I'm just gonna say this. We're gonna move on. Jacoby, I don't know what you was thinking. I mean, the game was tied. Maybe he thought. Maybe it's like he did a J.R. Smith. And he thought the game. Maybe he thought they was up. Remember the 2018 Finals Game 1? Y'all remember that? I'm thinking Jacoby Myers thought they may have been behind by a field goal or something, or behind by something. I don't know. But I'll tell you this one thing. If that wasn't Bill Belichick and something like that happened and you and your team, because they in danger of missing the playoffs now, that's a fireable offense, my man. That is a fireable offense. But it's Bill Belichick, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe Myers ain't cut. But he's one of the staples on that team, so I don't know. But man, it's just crazy, man. That's just crazy. Moving on from there, I just thought I'd share that with you because that was the craziest thing I've seen in a while right there. So the game was tonight, on Thursday night. The Jaguars go into New York where it was like 5 degrees and snow and stuff came on the field and stuff and rains, precipitation, and all kind of stuff came late. Reason I know it's about 5 degrees because up here in Alabama, it's like 16 degrees. So I know it's about 5 degrees in New York because it's a winter chill going across the country right now. So. But Jacksonville went up to New York. New York's not a bad team. That defense is for real. Quentin Williams is a bad dude. Sauce Gardner. That's a good football team. They just kind of limited at quarterback. Zach Wilson. I don't know what he's doing or whatever because the other guy can't play. He got bit in half. But anyway, Jaguars win that game 19-3. And how that's pertinent to our discussion is that maybe it wasn't exactly, a terrible loss to go down to Duval and lose the way we lost. Maybe we probably should have won that game, but maybe Jacksonville a lot better than we thought. They're 7-8. They done won like 4 out of their last 5 games. And shoot, don't look now. They may win that division. That's real. That's real. But anyway, I thought I'd just share that with y'all. And now on to Cowboy things. Look, man, it's this time of the year where they start making these announcements for different things, awards, and they made announcements, I think, Wednesday, Tuesday for the Pro Bowl. Cowboys got 7 Pro Bowlers. That's a testament of what kind of season we're having. And, we got a good football team. We got 7 Pro Bowlers, and I'm going to name them for you. You got Zach Martin making his 8th Pro Bowl. Our future Hall of Fame right guard in his 8th Pro Bowl. He's been to the Pro Bowl every year except 2000, which he was injured. He's played every position on the defensive line, on the offensive line, and got hurt. Got his, I think he got his shoulder hurt and some other things hurt, pecs hurt. He got all kinds of things hurt in 2000 because that was the CV-19 season, and also the season Dak got his compound fracture of his foot or whatever. So that's really like a lost season. But every other season, Zach Martin's been to the Pro Bowl. So we got Zach Martin and Tony Pollard, TP, making his first Pro Bowl. Tony Pollard cracking in at 969 yards, rushing on 177 carries, good for 5.6 yards per carry, and 9 rushing touchdowns, 33 more catches for like 400 yards. And 3 touchdowns. So he got 12 touchdowns. So Tony Pollard, well-deserved Pro Bowl nod. And then CD Lamb. I got to give CD Lamb his due. I've been hard on CD, but CD this season got 81 catches, 1,087 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He's projected to have 98 catches for like 1,320 yards and like 7 touchdowns. Which means they think he's only going to get 1 more touchdown in the remaining 3 games. I think he's going to have about 9 to 10 touchdowns myself. But CD Lamb making his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance. Tony Pollard, this is his first. I failed to mention that. Then on the defense, we're going with DeMarcus Lawrence with his third Pro Bowl appearance, appearing in 2017, 2018. And then, of course, that's when he got paid, and then he's not been to a Pro Bowl since. But he's Pro Bowl this year. Of course, Micah Parsons, perennial, All Pro, best defensive player in the league, in my opinion. He gets the nod, and then at the corner, Trayvon Diggs. Both Micah and Trayvon making their second Pro Bowl appearances. And then, surprisingly, well, kind of not, because he's got the numbers. He just hasn't scored. Kevontae Turpin made it as a kick return. Funny thing about Kevontae Turpin is when they told and made the announcement, see, the players don't know, but the front offices and stuff be knowing about the Pro Bowl announcements before the players do. So Jerry Jones made the call himself to Kevontae Turpin. And see, and then when Jerry called him, he led with him making that muff in that Houston game. Kevontae thought he would be cut. Jerry finished it off with, "No, but you overcame that, and congratulations, son. You're going to the Pro Bowl." And he cried, supposedly. But I thought that was kind of cool. Jerry ain't all bad, man. Yeah, I got my issue with him, man. He gives some things that's kind of all right right there, man. That's kind of cool. But those are our Pro Bowlers, right? So, and snubs. Look, man. I'm pretty much happy with who we got. But I probably would have liked to see Dorrance Armstrong make it. He got 8 sacks, got about 14 quarterback pressures and 14 hits. A fumble, a couple of forced fumbles, a block punt. He's had a pretty good season, man. I would like to have seen Dorrance Armstrong make the Pro Bowl also. So I would have been our 8th, whatever. So those are our Pro Bowlers, man. So I'm pretty happy with all of those picks. Like I said, Dorrance might be the one I would have liked to have seen added. Cowboy news, just a few things. Sam Williams, our second round pick out of Ole Miss, defensive lineman, having a great rookie season. Was involved in a car wreck today going to practice. Not injured, took him to the hospital. Him and the passenger of the other car that hit him, it was their fault, not Sam's. Supposedly he has a black Corvette, but it's all tore to pieces now. Them things made out of fiberglass, in case y'all didn't know. Well, they used to be. And but he's not hurt, and he's expected to be able to play on Sunday. So we're talking about injuries. Micah really only practiced like once this week. He's just beat up and he's ill again. I don't know what it is about this illness going around the star. There's something going on with that. I'm not sure what's going on there, but something's got to be done. Like I said, spray that thing down with some Maticide, with some what do you call that stuff in the purple can? God, I can't think what you call it. Well, you just spray that thing down with something and have everybody leave the thing and spray it down and let it cure, and everybody come back. But yeah, they need to do that. But anyway, injuries. Jake Ferguson, tight end who didn't play Sunday with concussion symptoms, and I think he has some shoulder injuries. He practiced today and expected to play on Sunday, so we can use our Saturday, I should say. How about 12 personnel? Okay, Diggs. Illness again. What's going on with the illness? We got to do something about that. But spray that thing down with some Lysol or something. But yeah. But I don't know if he practiced today or not. But I know he's been out some this week with practice with illness. Dorrance Armstrong with a knee. He was full practice today, so hopefully he'll be able to play. He was limited in the game Sunday against the Jaguars. Hopefully he'll be able to play. Okay. So here's some things here. And so the fallout in that was a gut wrenching game that we lost on Sunday. It was just gut wrenching. And so, here's some things that, and the question has been asked, what's going on with the defense? We played 2 opponents, the last 2 opponents, Houston and Jacksonville, and we barely got out of there with one win. Okay, easily could have been 0-2. Our defense, which came into that thing with 48 sacks, comes out 2 weeks later with 49 sacks. Got one sack in 2 games. Neither one of those teams have what I would call an all-pro offensive line, which like we playing on Saturday, which they got 3 players: Landon Dickerson, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelsey, I'm sorry, and Lane Johnson. All 3 of them are Pro Bowlers. So yeah. But anyhow, you know, so questions been asking with Micah, what's going on? Why nobody's not getting pressures and stuff? Of course, now Micah said something that I've been saying, like, we got to change up some things. See, the NFL game is pretty simple. I mean, it's not simple, but I'm saying in terms of like how you succeed. Usually somebody has some success, then teams get film on them and they make some adjustments. Okay, then it's up to you and your coaching staff to make counter adjustments. Okay, they just kind of stay here. Okay, you yin, I'm on yang. You yang, I yin. Right. So here it is. So they asked him. It says, it seems as if opposing teams' fear of Parsons and Doomsday defenses result in an extreme extra emphasis on limiting sacks by adjusting the offense to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quicker. But considering Lawrence attempts, he had 42 attempts Sunday. Okay, Trevor Lawrence 42, and it's his 3rd highest yardage total of the season, and they only got 1 sack on him. Okay, he goes on to say it's tough. If you look at the film, we're getting difficult game plans. Okay, he goes on to say that they're doing things to us. They're chipping us a lot. They're getting the ball out quick. And what I'm saying is that teams are making adjustments. They're not gonna just line up and let you come after the quarterback. So Micah was like, hey, we gotta change it up. We gotta change it up. Okay. And on top of that, they gave up 503 yards on Sunday. Okay. That's an alarming amount. I would venture to say that might be the most Jacksonville has had on yardage in probably years. Okay. Yeah. So he said thinking they might need to change it up a little bit. Change up the game plan a little bit. Kind of sort of thing. And I've been saying, he can't be. We gotta just do something different. Some people have thought about maybe getting Micah back in a traditional linebacker position where you can move him around in different positions with the linebacker, have him come on certain plays and blitz, stay back in coverage on others, keep the flats, in other plays, and mirror the quarterback and others. I don't know. But just having him as a straight pass rusher, people are adjusting to that. And once people adjust, it's kind of hard to, continue to do the same thing when people have made adjustments. You got to counter now, counter move. That's part of coaching. Right? So Javon Curse, our strong safety, was talking. He was asked about it. He said, "Look, I think there's enough talking going on. Enough talking. We need to go out there and execute. Go out there and play. Go out there and play like how we're supposed to play and stop talking." I don't know if that was directed to Micah or whomever, but he's done with the talking. Okay, he's done with the talking. All right. So J-Ron wants to just get to it, and everybody knows their assignments. Let's just go play ball. Okay. So enough talking. I know Micah's been talking about different things, whatever. But anyway, shake up at corner. Look, many don't know because I didn't mention it on Sunday because I didn't really know because I actually didn't watch the game in totality because it wasn't offered in my market. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying it's the fact. So I didn't realize that Kelvin Joseph had got benched after that 59-yard touchdown he gave up to Zay Jones. He got benched. Of course, that wasn't his only mistake. He missed a lot of Zay Jones was cooking him. Okay. So they benched him, brought in Nashawn Wright. He came in, he did okay. He gave up a couple of stuff, but it wasn't nothing glaring. So what that led Dan Quinn to say this week was that there's going to be a competition at corner, basically saying, Kevin Joseph had lost his job. So there's been a lot of wrangling and probably some hand wrangling about the cornerback position. Now, some people think that Deron Bland might get that second cornerback position. I like him, but I don't know if he's ready for that because that's where they're going to line up their best wide receiver. They find a rookie corner. They're going after Deron Bland. Special now. I've seen he got great ball skills. He's got good coverage ability and good instincts. So we're gonna see. And it's thought of that they might move Mackenzie Alexander, who they just acquired, to the vacated spot at the slot corner that he just occupied. So maybe on Saturday we're gonna be looking at at Deron Bland at the corner opposite Diggs, and then Mackenzie Alexander at the slot corner position. Don't sleep on Trayvon Mullins. We also picked him up this week too. So last week he might get a little playing time this week too. We're gonna need all hands on deck, Saturday on this Christmas Eve game. So yeah, good shakeup at corner, and we're gonna see what happens, man. But we gotta get that solidified and figure out what's going on. Guys really not throwing at Diggs; they're throwing at whoever's on the other side, and whoever's on the other side seems to give up a big play, every game, So maybe we'll see. Now, I guess the question is asked: what happened to Joseph? I mean, they're not gonna cut him. He's a second round pick, and he's been doing pretty good at special teams. And he may come in and maybe some dime coverages or something like that when they go with like maybe 4 wide receivers or something like that. They might bring him in, but his probably his time as a starter for the time being, I'm thinking, is probably over for right now. But stay tuned for that. Okay. Some other things. Look, we both know that the game's coming up in Saturday, and the news we heard around Tuesday. I didn't want to go public with my midweek report till I knew for certain what was really going on. But it's believed that Jalen Hurts in the game they had against the Bears on Sunday hurt his shoulder. And of course, you see in my caption here, you buying it. And the reason I say that is because it seems to be some shenanigans going on with that because supposedly he's got a sprained AC joint. That's a joint in your shoulder, okay? But at no point in the game Sunday did he either go into a medical tent or go back to the locker room or even leave the game. He finished that game. And after what the hit that he ran on and it supposedly hurt his shoulder, field was in terrible conditions at Soldier Field on Sunday too. Ice on the field, all that kind of stuff. And if you get hit and land on a piece of ice on somebody laying on top of you, it's not a good thing, man. And so, but he finished the game and actually had a running touchdown later. He ran the ball and threw the ball like 10 more times and completed 7 of them. Never left the game. So when was his shoulder hurt? In terms of like hurt enough that he wasn't able to finish the game, but he finished the game. So I'm like, are they doing some little gamesmanship with us? So anyway, the question is, he out for Saturday. And like I said, because of what I saw and him not even leaving the game, never even favored the shoulder, didn't go to the medical tent, like when they didn't have the ball and getting treatment and them getting shot up or nothing. None of that happened. Okay. So I'm just saying, are you buying it? But what I did like, and this is a note, Jerry, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Not that Jerry listens to me. You don't even know who I am. And I like how Nick Sirianni played this. This is how you play the media. You don't use the media barking up a whole bunch of scenarios that don't ever happen just to get clicks. You use the media to gain advantage on an opponent. Nick Sirianni was like, "Oh no, we all up until this morning. No. I don't know what Jalen's gonna play or not. I mean, he's a tough son of a gun. Nobody I see that can take stuff is mentally tougher than Jalen Hurts, which I know because he played at Bama. I know all about that. He ain't telling me nothing I don't know. But he was letting it be said that way. You know why he was doing it? So that the Cowboys would have to prepare for him and Gardner Minshew. That's how you play the media. That's what you do. You don't go making stuff about, oh, wouldn't it be good if we had a quarterback controversy to get the locker room in a tizzy. It ain't still chasing after Odell Beckham after you had a crazy loss like we just had Sunday, and you still talking about Odell Beckham. Dude, I'm kidding about Odell Beckham. We got a team. We need to get this stuff fixed. We need to get our game plan fixed. We need to get our defense fixed. We need to quit turning the ball over so many times. These are things I'm talking. I'm not talking about no daggum Odell Beckham. But Jerry likes to talk about because those are the things he likes to put into the media. See, the Eagles, the only time they're using the media is to gain an advantage because that will make the Cowboys have to prepare for both quarterbacks, both Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. And we don't know, and I'll say it, and I don't care who said it, and other content creators, the Cowboys may disagree. I don't speak all glowing roses and rose petals and candy canes and cotton candy and stuff for the Cowboys. We do not prepare well. Never have. We always are a little less than where the league average is when it comes to preparedness. In other words, game planning, looking at what teams do, looking at their tendencies, and play those things. Never forget that Thanksgiving game last year against the Raiders. You should have known if they brought Marcus Mariota in the game that the zone read is probably on the table because that's what he does, especially if they bring him in on 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. You should have been prepared for the zone read, but nope, snap, running into the end zone like, oop, got y'all. And I'm sitting there like, y'all didn't know he's on the team? Y'all didn't, he wasn't on y'all scouting report? See, those are the kind of things I'm talking about because you know that's what he do. But you weren't prepared for that. You just let him go in the line. Oh, I didn't know he did those kind. That's what I'm saying. We don't prepare things. We just play. Okay. So we got Gardner. So it was announced today. Now I don't know, because it was. I mean, people can say what they want to. Now it was announced today. Nick Sirianni. Now notice Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are talking. It isn't Howie Roseman, and it sure ain't Jeffrey Lurie. Anytime you're talking about who's going to play what's that, we always talk to Jerry Jones. Mike's always in Jerry Jones' face. Nobody ever talks to Mike McCarthy. Nobody cares. When he says something, you feel like, oh, well, that's what we've already got that from Jerry. Okay, if you want to tell us, that's fine. But we already know. We already talked to Jerry. Jeffrey Lurie ain't telling nobody jack. Neither is Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman is the Philadelphia Eagles general manager, in case y'all didn't know. Okay. So, but Nick Sirianni announced today that Jalen Hurts did everything he could, but he won't be starting. And Gardner Minshew will start on Saturday. Okay. Now, Gardner Minshew has a whole different set of offensive challenges than for Jalen Hurts. He's a better thrower of the football, pure thrower. Now, he's not going to do all that mesh point stuff that Jalen do. But Miles Sanders is still a quality running back. He made the Pro Bowl too. So did Jalen. So what is this? What if he doesn't play? What does that mean for the Cowboys? I'm gonna tell you what it means. It means for Jalen Hurts, it's gonna hurt his MVP candidacy, which I thought was ridiculous. Because if he thought he was an MVP before the game and he just missed one game and he comes back next week and picks up right where he left off, then to me he's still the MVP. But whatever. I don't make these decisions. But that's what it means for him. What it means for the Cowboys is simple. And in my moniker it says. Who's under more pressure in this game? Okay, Eagles still want to hold on to that division lead, which they'd have to lose all 3 games or losing now by us wetting the bed in Jacksonville last week. Had we won that game that week and win Sunday, we're going to be a game behind them with 2 to play. Anything can happen. They play the Giants and they play the Saints. Anything can happen. Okay, but here's the thing. Can you imagine what would happen to the Dallas Cowboys if the Eagles was somehow to beat us with Gardner Minshew? That's what I'm talking about, pressure. Because if they was able to do that right there, I'm done. Not meaning I'm not rooting for the Cowboys no more. I'm like, no, I'm done putting them as a front runner for the doing deep in the playoffs. Y'all gonna have to show me. Okay. They beat y'all. They beat us. Gardner Minshew, I'm done. Okay. But I don't expect us to lose to them with Gardner Minshew. But a lot of people are saying, like, oh, how bad. I heard on Colin Cowherd today, like, man, this is a game. This is a game of importance to Dak Prescott because he loses to a backup quarterback. I'm like, but yeah, but Dak's not playing Gardner Minshew. He's playing 7 other Pro Bowlers. The Eagles got 7 Pro Bowlers, 8 Pro Bowlers because that Jalen is a Pro Bowler. He's not playing. There's 7 other Pro Bowlers on the team. The 3 offensive linemen: Miles Sanders, AJ Brown, and then you got Hassan Reddick, the defensive lineman. You got uh, uh, Darius Slay, and you got I want to say it was Hassan Reddick. Was it Javon Hargrave? Maybe. But they got 3 on defense. And then they got, I think, 3 on offense, 2 on offense, and 3 along the offensive lines. Okay. And then the quarterback. Okay. So yeah, you still playing a team with 7 Pro Bowlers, 3, 4 of them on defense. That's the defense he's playing. He ain't playing Gardner Minshew. Okay, he's playing against us, so that's why I'm like, I don't understand that. But I will say this: of course, now if we beat them, people will say, "Oh, well, you beat them without Jalen." I'm like, yeah, but they beat us the first game without Dak. What are you saying? And of course, they'll throw, well, he probably would have lost more with Dak, and he threw 5 interceptions. Yeah, but Cooper Rush threw 3. Knock it off. Okay, knock it off. But yeah, it's a no-win situation. We win it, yeah, you should have won because they played Gardner Minshew. But if we lose, ooh, at home, the Gardner Minshew, yeah, I'm done. I'm off the bandwagon in terms of like, okay, yeah, we're making a nice playoff run. No, you're gonna have to show me at that point because that means you've not learned anything from the things but what you've gone through this year. You've not learned anything. So, but anyway, with that being said. But as we come to a close of this video, my prediction, with all that being said, all we talked about, my prediction is Cowboys 24, Eagles 20. Cowboys moved 11-4. But we won't get the credit because, hey, you beat the backup quarterback. But they're going to continue to give the Eagles credit for beating us with our backup quarterback, but don't let that mess you up. But that's all I got, man, from the desk, Uncle Fred. Please like, comment, and subscribe and become a part of the Fred Sports Experience. Guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. You know, I'll come back to y'all on Saturday after the game and tell you what I thought and my observations. Hopefully it's with a dub. Y'all hear what I'm saying? But that's all I got, man. I catch y'all later. God bless. Merry Christmas to y'all.